What if one day you wake up and start peeing spaghetti? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be watching the 2016 comedy movie Spaghetti Man. The movie's main character, Clark, works as a pizza delivery guy. One day, a customer complains to him about 2 missing pizza slices. Clark clearly ate those missing slices on his way, as the food on his beard is evident, but he tries to sell it off as a special Pac-Man pizza. The customer obviously doesn't believe him and gets him fired from his job. After losing his job, Clark goes back home sad. Luckily, he has a very good friend and a flatmate in Dale, who offers to pay the full rent until Clark gets a job. But Clark pushes his luck, or could we say takes advantage of Dale's generosity, and asks him not to ask for money for at least 6 or 7 months. Since Clark is really cheap, Dale invites him to lunch after work and offers to help him find a job. Dale is about to make some arrangements for Clark, but they get interrupted by Dale's old police academy friends, Garibaldi and Betts. Dale is actually studying to be a police officer, and has failed several times, which has made him a laughingstock for Garibaldi and Betts. They make fun of Dale and rub it on him about how cool they are because they're cops. After they're gone, Dale arranges a job interview for Clark, which he attends with a handwritten resume. My god, this guy doesn't care at all. The place where Clark is applying for a job is facing a great employee shortage problem. They literally want to hire anyone. But they're still not that desperate to go for Clark and quickly end the interview. Clark goes back home and looks for dinner in the fridge. He finds some leftover spaghetti and puts it in the microwave. As lazy as he is, he can't even wait for 3 minutes and crashes on the couch. In the meantime, the microwave starts acting crazy and something unexplainable happens. Clark later wakes up, takes the spaghetti out of the microwave and starts eating it. After taking a couple bites, Clark gets a bit dizzy and drops the bowl out of his hand. The next day, he goes to the bathroom to pee. When he looks down, the whole toilet is filled with spaghetti. There's so much spaghetti that it can't be flushed, so Clark starts to throw the spaghetti out from his window. Later, Dale reminds him that he has been sleeping continuously for 4 days now. And moreover, the bowl of spaghetti he had dropped 4 days earlier is sitting perfectly on the table. And it's still warm and fresh out of the microwave. Concerned about his body, Clark visits the doctor and tells how he just peed spaghetti. The doctor, of course, doesn't believe him and asks weird questions like, "Did you insert that spaghetti into your body?" Clark confirms that he didn't do such a thing like that, and in order to make the doctor believe his story, Clark takes a cup and pees in it, and then returns the cup full of noodles to the doctor, who takes a while to process it all. When he's walking around his neighborhood, he witnesses a man trying to steal a bag from a woman. As the robber slowly approaches him, Clark almost instinctively shoots out spaghetti from his body. Just like Spider-Man, but instead of spiderwebs, he shoots noodles. When Dale is practicing his shooting skills, Clark arrives and shoots noodles at him as well. Clark finally lets his friends in on his secret and tells him how he can throw spaghetti out of his body. Dale obviously laughs and doesn't take it seriously. But when Clark demonstrates it live, Dale gets serious and asks him to go to the hospital or maybe even a scientist. Clark replies that if he does that, then people will want to do experiments on him, which he doesn't like the very idea of. So, Clark goes out contemplating what he should do with his newfound powers. He once again witnesses a man getting robbed by 2 dudes. At first, Clark thinks of not engaging with those criminals, but then he decides to help. He comes out with a paper bag on his head to hide his real identity. And hear me out, don't close this video, Clark uses spaghetti, which comes out of his body, to fight off the criminals. And guess what? He's even thought of a name for himself. He is now Spaghetti Man. But then, in an unheroic way, Clark asks for money in return of helping the man not to get robbed. He just takes out the money from his wallet and leaves. He later shows up in his new avatar and shows off the $40 he just made to Dale. He details everything about how he kicked the asses of some dudes and got paid $40. Being the good guy that Dale is, he corrects Clark on how he shouldn't use his powers like that. He should instead be a good superhero and put his powers to good use. But Clark doesn't listen to him and says that his sole focus now is to fight off criminals and get paid for it. From the next day onwards, Clark starts catching criminals and helping people in need. In return, he makes sure to get paid. He literally negotiates price with a woman who was about to get kidnapped. And for all the hard work he did, he finds himself on the news. Like a true superhero, Clark starts to practice his shooting skills and is really bad at it. Moreover, he has put up a Craigslist ad for people who might want to hire him for any superhero work. Surprisingly, he gets a lot of requests, but he turns down most of them as he thinks he's being offered too little for his trouble. But then one request gets his attention. He visits the lady who posted the request and listens to what he's required to do. The lady tells Clark that her boyfriend is a very hard drug addict, and he had taken a huge loan from bad people. As he wasn't able to pay up that money, the bad guys kept him captive, and now the lady wants Spaghetti Man to help her save her boyfriend. So Clark goes to the bad guys and asks them to release her client's boyfriend. The bad guys won't allow it until they've received their $1,500 and shoot at Clark. However, Clark finds out that his body weirdly just absorbed the bullet. Anyways, he doesn't get hurt either by bullets or by knives. He beats the bad guys and then starts looking for his client's boyfriend. He later finds him being held at gunpoint by the main bad guy. Clark uses his spaghetti and knocks the bad guy unconscious. Man, I'm using the word spaghetti way too much in this video. But, I mean, literally can't help it, the movie's titled Spaghetti Man. So, please bear with me. Back to the story. Clark saves the guy and takes him to his girlfriend, and he doesn't leave before getting what he was promised. Clark then starts dancing and strolling around in the streets with a paper bag still on his head. He finds a guy sleeping on the floor and asks what he's doing. The guy replies that he ran away from home, has nothing to live for, and is contemplating ending his life. But not on Spaghetti Man's watch! Clark gives him some words of encouragement and then shoots out some spaghetti for him to eat. And surprisingly, he doesn't ask for money. However, someone is recording each and every move of Clark and uploading it online. Dale believes that it's something they need to be careful of, but Clark just thinks it's cool of someone to record him in action and get him more popular. Life goes on, Dale fails another police test, and Clark goes on his daily routine to save people in need and ask for their money. Then one evening, while Clark is saving a man from getting robbed, he hears a camera click and finds the guy who has been following him around and uploading his videos online. The man reveals himself to be a journalist named Anthony Banner. Upon questioning, Clark finds out that Anthony Banner has been selling his videos to news sites for money. Clark understandably gets mad, and in return, Anthony offers to pay for his dinner, which Clark accepts. Meanwhile, Dale's third failed attempt of joining the police force has really gone to his head. He starts talking to himself about how he's not able to save the world like Spaghetti Man is doing, but he also knows that Clark is doing it for money. So he starts to believe that he should be the one to set Clark on the right path and make him a perfect superhero. That is the only way Dale can fulfill his dream of being a hero and serve his city. Clark, on the other hand, goes to have dinner with Anthony. During their conversation, they make a deal with each other. Every time Clark is going to fight crimes, he'll first inform Anthony so that he can get ready and record the action perfectly. Later, he'll sell the videos on news sites, and then they can split the earnings in half. Clark goes back home to find his friend drinking his sadness away. And after watching this movie, I might have to do the same. Dale once again tries to make Clark think straight and finally make use of the power he has, to finally become a responsible superhero and not run around for money. Being the greedy man that he is, Clark dismisses Dale's advice and argues that he's still helping people in need. Dale at last loses his cool and shouts at Clark. Dale admits that he wishes he had the same powers as Clark and that he would have been a better hero. The two friends have an argument and Dale walks out. Next day, Clark calls Anthony and gives him the address to where he's going to do his superhero thing. With Anthony all ready with his camera, Clark approaches a guy who allegedly stole a phone from a bar. The guy pleads himself innocent, but the Spaghetti Man doesn't leave him alone, as he takes the phone from his pocket. Knowing that he's being recorded, Clark adds some corny superhero lines and runs from the scene. Now that the video is recorded, Clark wants to hurry and get his portion of the earnings paid. But Anthony breaks it to him that once he delivers the video, it usually takes 3 to 4 days, or in maximum, 45 days to get the money paid. That's the horrible thing with freelance that Clark has to get used to. Moving on, let's see what's going on with Dale. In order to make his friend realize that he needs to be a real hero, Dale decides to be the supervillain. He hires a criminal named Kato, and together they start to audition for thugs who are going to fight against Spaghetti Man. Dale's plan is to put Clark into a situation where he'll save someone without money and become a true superhero. Now, back to Spaghetti Man. Anthony invites Clark to his house where he meets Anthony's wife, who is pregnant with twins. Katie is obviously not impressed with Clark's personality and is concerned about her husband's safety. Anthony assures his wife that he's only hanging out with Clark for money, and as soon as their twins are born, he'll stop working with Spaghetti Man. One night when Clark tries to help a homeless man, he gets ambushed by Kato and his goons. Kato makes the homeless man call the police and tell them that Spaghetti Man killed him, after which Kato shoots him to death. How does that even work? Murder victim calls the police and tells them about the murder before his death. and then he gets shot by a superhero who doesn't use a gun. Anyway, Spaghetti Man has now been framed for murder. He immediately goes to Anthony and informs him about the situation. While Anthony and Clark discuss what they should do next, Dale has something planned. He intentionally ruins the house to make it look like there was a forceful break-in. He's basically setting up the scene for when Clark shows up. And if that wasn't enough, Dale punches himself in the face to show he was badly beaten up by the intruders. A few minutes later, Clark shows up with Anthony and falls for Dale's tricks. Dale lies that some people came in looking for Spaghetti Man and badly beat him up. Seeing his friend beaten up like that, Clark, in his true Clark way, blames Anthony instead of himself. He blames Anthony for recording his videos and making him famous, to a point where the bad guys want him dead and are willing to hurt his friends. Fed up by Clark's rude behavior, Anthony gets out of his house, promising to never ever work with him again. With Anthony gone, Dale tries to talk Clark into finding the bad guys who beat him and take revenge for him. What Dale wants Clark to do is avenge him for free like a true superhero. But Clark makes it clear that things have turned out to be really dangerous. Far more than he thought, and he's now done being Spaghetti Man. That's it. Clark quits. Feeling bad for how his actions put Dale in serious trouble, Clark spends the next few days taking care of Dale. When Clark is going to throw out his superhero mask, Dale once again tries to talk him into being brave and fight crime for free without greed. But Clark is adamant that he is done and will not risk his or his friend's life anymore. Clark throws his superhero mask in the garbage, bidding a final goodbye to his superhero persona. But then he gets a phone call from Anthony. Katie has been kidnapped, and in exchange for her life, the kidnappers want Spaghetti Man. Anthony is confused as no one knew him and Spaghetti Man were working together. So, how did the kidnappers know about them? It finally dawns on them that Dale is the only one who knows. Clark calls Dale and confirms that it was him who kidnapped Katie, and now wants Spaghetti Man to be a hero and save her. Clark goes to the address where Dale told him to be. He enters a dojo where Kato and his goons are waiting for him. Clark gets surrounded by Kato's goons, who he had hired through auditions. The goons aren't at the level of Spaghetti Man and easily get beaten up. Clark takes Spaghetti out of his body and uses it as nunchucks to make quick work out of the bad guys. A sentence I never thought would leave my mouth. But he still has Kato to deal with, who out of all the criminals knows how to dodge Spaghetti. While the two square up against each other, Dale watches them as he believes this is the moment where Clark will defeat the bad guy for free and become a hero. However, Kato is more than what Clark or Spaghetti Man can handle. While Clark only manages to get the shirt off Kato and reveal his chiseled body, Kato beats Clark to a pulp. In fact, Kato beats him up so bad that Clark's whole body turns into spaghetti and Clark eventually dies. Dale stops Kato and argues that it wasn't part of their plan. He just wanted Clark to realize his superhero moment. Well, whatever the plan was, Kato clearly had other ideas, and is willing to kill Dale too if he keeps bothering him. But wait, something's happening. All the spaghetti that was beaten out of Clark a few seconds ago starts to go back in, and Clark gets back alive. And he shoots a spaghetti into Kato's head and kills him. Dale runs away and Clark chases him. The Spaghetti Man finally comes face to face with his friend, who reveals that they're into the climax of their story. Dale's about to jump off the building, but Clark stops him with his spaghetti. Dale smiles as he believes Clark's superhero story is finally complete. Saved Anthony and Katie for free, and moreover, he saved the life of his villain best friend. Okay, I'm done with this movie. Thank you, and sorry if you're still watching. Even if you hated the movie, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos unlike what you just saw. I'm gonna go grab a drink.